Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I am here with the season premiere of season 2 of SummerHouse, Martha's Vineyard. I am so excited that this show got a season 2. I've been waiting for it to come back so I can recap it, and I am just really excited to get into it. Um, yeah, we definitely don't have all of the same characters that we had last season, but a good majority of the girls and guys came back. So this episode starts off with Jasmine kind of recapping what happened last summer, and she's talking about what's happened throughout the year, that her and Jordan aren't really close anymore. And she's still friends with everyone else, but she's just not as close with her sister cousin as she used to be. Um, Nick still has his girlfriend. Amir now has a new girlfriend. Um, and yeah, Nick and Amir have gotten close and like hang out. So then they get to the house. Bria is the first person in the house. She comes back with Milo, the house dog. Um, and then Jasmine shows up and she comes alone. No Silas, thank God. I think most of us were pretty annoyed with who he was or who he portrayed himself to be, right? Maybe that's not who he is. I mean, Jasmine married him. Maybe he's better than that. But who he portrayed himself to be in season 1 was insufferable. And I think just about everybody was tired of him and did not want him back. They said he was deployed, but I want to believe that. I do. And I do believe that he ended up deployed. But like, was he really deployed when the show aired, like taped? It's just 2 weeks. Or did he just say he was? And everybody went along with it because his ego couldn't handle everybody knowing that he was fired, but his wife was brought back. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that maybe he was around? I don't know. If he was, cool. If he wasn't, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, Jasmine and Bria have reconciled, so they were like cool when they got to the house. Jordan is on her way. She's coming with Summer. Her and Summer have gotten really close since that last season. And then Summer, what did I say? Did I say Summer and Jordan? I hope so. But Summer and Jordan are coming together and they've gotten really close. Summer's friend, Noella, I think is her. Noelle. Oh, I'm trying to make that real Latina real quick. Summer and her friend Noelle is coming, but Noelle is coming separate of Summer. Um, Shanice comes, and this time she's going to be on the vineyard full time. There's no job to stop her from staying the entire 2 weeks. Um, Alex shows up. Summer ignores him, which is a little weird because it seemed like last season they was getting close and maybe flirting a little bit, right? Like so for him to come and for her to be kind of like so kind of standoffish was a little weird. Um, Summer calls him weird. Shanice also ignores him. And, but Alex says, "What's up?" Preston shows up, our favorite. The guys are in like a room that has like two bunk beds and then one solo bed, which is kind of shady. Um, so when Preston shows up, he goes to the room and they're like, Preston, are you more of a top bunk or a bottom bunk kind of guy? And he's like, oh, I'm more of a side bunk kind of guy. And he goes, and if you know, you know. And guess what, baby? I know. And I'm so excited because I just found out what that meant this year, literally maybe 3 months ago. So I feel good to be in the know for once because I'm never in the know. But I know what a side bunk is, or at least a side is, because I have never heard the term before. I randomly came across it, and I'm in the know, baby, for the first time ever. When people say, if you know, you know, your girl knows. I feel so accomplished. Shout out to the sides, I guess. I don't know. I'm just excited to be here. uh, then Shanice, Summer, Preston, and Jordan had gone to Jamaica this past year without Jasmine. A little shady. They didn't even invite her or let her know. And it seems like she's a little bit jealous of their relationship and their friendship, but I don't blame her, especially if I like brought y'all together and now y'all kicking it without me. I mean, I would feel away. I would feel away. I'm sorry, I would feel away. I want to act like I'm above it and I wouldn't feel away, but I would feel away. I'd be looking at your Instagram like, y'all mother. Whew. But you can't say anything because you don't want people to know you feel away. But I would feel away. Amir is talking about his girlfriend and he seems really scared of this girl. He's like, she would cut off my this and choke me and this and kill me. I'm like, baby, that's not a relationship. Like that she has you hostage. What do you mean? Like, I'm not saying hopefully he doesn't intend to cheat or plan to cheat, but in my eyes, people who talk like that, the way Amir is talking, are probably already cheating and doing all this extra over exaggeration of who their girlfriend is to like make it seem like they would never. But they would, and they already are. For the most part, Amir might be different. Amir might be better than that. But from what I've seen in my lifetime, those people be cheating. And they be cheating. But yeah, Noelle finally shows up, and the girl is country. Like her accent is so thick. But I don't know if she's putting on a little bit. She's supposed to be from Atlanta. And, maybe because I see Atlanta as such like a metropolitan city that I don't remember that it's really in Georgia and it is the country. So it's possible for her accent to be that thick, but who knows? Because she has an accent that if somebody told me she was from Kentucky or Tennessee, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. But Atlanta just sounds so, I don't know, but it could be accurate. She kind of reminds me of like, what's it called? Jasmine Guy and A Different World. Like, that's how I feel about the accent a little bit. But I like her. She's cool, very beautiful. Um, she apparently met Summer because she lived with a guy that Summer was dating. Yes, I think that was their connection. Um, and then apparently the girls kind of talk like Shanice and Jordan and um, everybody kind of talk about Amir's girlfriend. And they're like, oh, do you like Amir's girlfriend? And everybody kind of comes to the consensus that she's a little annoying or like they don't like her. Um, which doesn't surprise me because of how Amir talks about her. I mean, I don't know. He didn't say like my girlfriend is so loving and kind. He basically said she would beat me up if I cheat on her. I don't know if that's the first taste you want to put in people's mouths about your girl, but whatever. Um, Preston's dad unfortunately died prior to the show, and the funeral is supposed to be the day after he got to Martha's Vineyard. And it's kind of sad because he and his sister were uninvited because him and his father were not close when they were younger. I mean, he said that he tried. His father tried to be better when they got older, but he felt kind of like it was too late, and he never really let him in. And he doesn't know how he feels about it, and I get it, right? It's like tough. It's like I want to hate this person, but now this person who I always just thought was there and didn't like is gone, and it's a conflicting feeling. So I get where um, Preston is at. Anyways, they come back. They're having a crab boil for their first night, and Bria is making the crab, and she has over seasoned it, or I don't know. It might have tasted bomb, but it looked she was emptying cans of Old Bay into that water, and it's funny because it reminds me of Potomac, Real Housewives of Potomac, if you watch, and freaking Cha Cha's underseasoned crab boil. Um, but yeah, while they're cooking, Noelle talks about how she thinks Alex is attractive. And she said that Summer said it was chill. And yeah, Summer tells us in her little confessional that she gave Noelle full permission to go after Alex. And I'm like, hmm, that seems so strange and contradictory to your behavior earlier when Alex walked in and you was being weird to him, ignoring him, calling him weird. I mean, if I gave someone full permission, I would talk to that person and be cool because I don't care about them. But her behavior was a little bit more carry than I think she wants to admit. Um, and they're all taking shots and drinking. And Jordan asks Jasmine, like, why aren't you drinking? And she's like, oh, I'm having a dry summer and this and that and whoop de whoop de whoop. And Bria's like, oh, I thought she was pregnant. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, how come when women don't drink, people just automatically assume they're pregnant? I saw people saying that on Twitter, but it's like, this is a girl who is recently married and has talked about wanting to be pregnant. So I don't think that's a stretch of a belief. And as it turns out, baby girl was pregnant. There is a baby now. She has had a baby. The baby is born. So I don't know if she was pregnant when this was filmed, but I know that before this season dropped, she is now with child. So my assumption is she probably was pregnant and figured that her body wouldn't change too much in 2 weeks and she'd be able to get in and get out without anybody knowing. Go to their little crab boil. The food is done. Amir has been like, I don't know if I want to eat this food or if I trust the woman cooking. But they get it together. They come, they sit at the little outside dinner table. And Jordan brings up the fact that Alex had an event that he didn't invite everyone to. This event was like something that he puts on, I guess, every so often with like a group that he has. And Alex just tries to BS his way through the answer. And I feel like this is kind of on brand for him. Like, I feel like all season, like, he was talking and it just seemed like he was full of it, to be quite frank. Um, and then Bria hops up and starts confronting Summer. But I'm not exactly sure why. Like, it just seemed like Bria wasn't happy that the attention wasn't on her, and she needed it to be. Like she was itching for the attention to be on her, so she had to hop in and confront Summer about something. And Preston is like, "OMG, what the f is going on?" And Bria took that personally, and she's like, "Do you want me to leave, Preston?" Now, how did you get from somebody saying OMG to do you want me to leave? Like, I feel like Bria is just dramatic. And I know Preston, like, maybe he was irritated. Obviously, he's going through a lot. And so sometimes you react in not so appropriate or regular ways because you're a little bit more heightened or, whatever. But it just seemed like Bria was like, trying to be a little scrappy unnecessarily because no one was even talking to her before she hopped in. Um, and then she gets up and she leaves, and they're kind of yelling back and forth, and she runs out, and Summer follows her because she's like, okay, you were yelling at me, but I'm not quite sure why. So she's like, I love you, we're good, this and that, whatever. And I think Noelle, before she even got up and left, Noelle was like, "You are not going anywhere, Bria. We are not done eating yet." I'm like, I kind of love this girl. She's just, I don't know why she's funny to me, but she is funny to me. And when she talks, like I said, if that accent is real, it just makes everything she says that much better. But anyways, Bria goes in there, and Summer is like, "Okay, wait, like." What's going on? How did we get here? And then Bria kind of, I guess, calms down and she comes out and she apologizes to Preston, and Preston apologizes back. And this is what I love when shows happen. And I'm not saying people can't beef, because the beef is good. We like it. We like to see them fight. But I always like to see people reconcile, especially people that you're actually friends with. Because he said him and Bria talk like almost every day, so it's good to see that they can come to resolution despite having quarrels. Um, so she comes back and she apologizes, and that's how it is. Um, but what's funny is because Summer brings it right back to Alex. She's like, "So, what's up? Why weren't we invited to this event?" And again, he goes back to being like, "Oh, I didn't know you were there because you don't live in New York," and blah, 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 blah. And you know how he talks. Um, and she was like, "So you didn't invite," because I guess Jordan wasn't invited either. But she was like, he was like, "Oh, I don't know you live there." But she was like, "But you saw me on FaceTime. We had a FaceTime call that day, and you saw I was with Jordan. Like, so you knew I was in New York." And she's like, "So you just didn't invite the one other person that lives in New York and the one person that you've been inside of?" Miss Ma'am. Now, why would you say that? Nobody knew. I mean, I had my suspicions when they was getting a little cozy, and then I had my suspicions with how she reacted when he showed up, because that's the only type of anger that's reserved for somebody that you messing with. When you've been, mm, that's the anger you have for them when they don't treat you how you thought they should have treated you. But what that goes to show for me is Alex is the exact person that I said he was last season. Ain't shit. Okay? He had ain't shit DEI. Okay? He I just feel that he does all this smooth, rah rah type of talk that's like, "Oh, I'm so chill, I'm so elevated, I'm above this, I'm above that." And he not above any of it. He just has a persona that he thinks he wants people to believe of him on camera. That's what I think. But then Alex moves topics to Jasmine, saying, like, "Well, you're talking about not inviting people, but Jasmine wasn't invited places that y'all went." And I'm like, "Look at you trying to get the heat off of you after you have been exposed for sleeping with Summer." Okay, raggedy. And then, you know, um, Jasmine calls it out. She's like, "Yeah, it's kind of shady. You guys only know each other because of me, and you guys was taking trips without me." And here comes Jordan talking about, "Well, I don't want this to be a public conversation." Girl, you just made the invite of Alex's event a public conversation. But now your conversation that you should be having with Jasmine can't be a public conversation. No, it don't get to be like that. Everything, baby, is public conversation. You can't pick and choose when public conversation happens. Um, so that's pretty much what happens at the dinner table. And then Bria gets sick, so she goes back to her room and she's not really, feeling well. And then the night ends, everybody goes to go sleep. And for once, we don't have to deal with Silas and Jasmine doing the do and everybody having to listen to it. So people actually go to bed. Um, Alex wakes up the next morning saying stuff like, "Oh, he refuses to act up because Summer's trying to get a rise out of him." And yeah, she probably is. But, I could feel it in my bones that you shady. So, maybe she came with the right approach. Who knows? But then they go to a yacht to have like a little yacht day party. And Preston makes a really kind of nice toast about his father and the passing and the funeral that is happening that day. And I think sometimes, we forget in watching these shows sometimes that these people are human, right? Like, yes, they're being recorded and this is our entertainment, but these people are human. And so they have to deal with human emotions and deal with them as they still are here working and being recorded. And I think that's important to remember because sometimes it's easy to forget that, right? Like as a consumer, as a viewer, it is easy to forget that the people that we are viewing are human and they feel just like we feel. But now they're being recorded as they feel. And yes, it's a choice. Yes, it's a job. It's what they've decided they wanted to do. Yes, I get it, blah, blah, blah. But I do also understand that it's important to remember that. And not just with Preston, but with everybody across the board, every show, whatever, that's reality TV. Um, but yeah, so then Jasmine calls Jordan to have like a little conversation. And she's like, I don't know what I did wrong. And it's like, Jasmine, girl, you know what you did wrong. You got married and you switched up. That was it. You had a friend, and don't get me wrong, being married requires you to switch up. It does. I am of the belief of that, but it doesn't require you to switch up on your friends, right? You might not be able to go everywhere or do everything, but the basic friendship you have should still stand and you should be there for them and talk to them and support them even if you can't go club with them till 3 4 in the morning, right? um and Jordan was like, you switched up and I felt freaked out by it and I just couldn't trust her. This is what she's saying more so in the, one on one and not with Jasmine. And so to me, then Jasmine's kind of like, well, now I feel like I'm putting in so much to keep up with these friendships and everybody's leaving her high and dry. And I'm like, look, Jasmine was wrong 100%. We know that. But she also knows that. And so the fact that she's putting in this effort to reconcile with all of these people and Jordan isn't really giving her that grace, it's kind of whack to me. I think that yes, she was probably more hurt based on their closeness, but at the same time, it's like, girl, give it a rest. This is your girl. And if that's your girl, you should be able to forgive. You know what the situation is. She's married now. And you have to give her grace, especially if she's reaching out and apologizing. At that point, you now should do better, Jordan. Jasmine effed up. We know that. We watched it all last season. She was tripping. But now that she's trying to reach out, be better, and reconcile, I think that some grace should be given. Um, Anyways, Alex and Summer finally talk. And apparently, Summer is actually clingy AF. Okay. Apparently, she was a bit too much. And so, you know what? I'm not saying that I still don't think that Alex is a little bit shady, but Summer is also a bit much. Come to find out, when Summer, um, what's it called? Um, Turns out when Summer, no, had Alex come to LA because, they was a little close, she was taking pictures of Alex that he didn't know that she was taking and sending them to Jordan, who then in turn sent them to Nick. So then Nick was calling Alex like, hey, what are you and Summer doing in LA? First of all, Nick is messy. That's number one. Nick is messy because if somebody sent you a pic on the sneak tip and this man who's your friend and frat brother did not tell you, hey, I'm heading to LA, and then you call him up like, hey, I got a picture of you, what you doing in LA with Summer, that's shady. Okay, let's all agree that that is messy motherfucking boots. Okay, you are messy boots, Nick, and you knew you were being messy when you did it. And Summer, you was being a little messy too. Why are you sending pics of a man? Well, I can't say that we all haven't at least done it once. Okay, like, girl, guess who over here about to get in it? But okay, Jordan is the problem. Why are you forwarding a pic that she sent you on a key over to the next person? Okay, that pic was sent as a key. Key, key, key. We laughing together. This man is in my house and ain't nobody know, and I'm sending it to you. Now, Jordan, you didn't need to pass it along. You messed up, okay? Summer messed up a little. Jordan messed a little bit. messed up a little, and Nick also messed up a little bit. Just a bunch of messy people that came together. Um, but what she also said that was a little weird, I sometimes I have a double mind about these things. So she says, Summer says, there's a certain level of love that two people should have when they're hooking up or, getting together. And the word love is interesting because, as Alex said, he don't love her. But it's like, I know she means like respect. When she used the word love, she really meant it as like there's a certain level of respect that you should have for someone like this. And I agree with her. Like, even if it's casual, like you flying out and I'm flying out. So there should be a little bit of respect here in this situation. So for Alex to not get that, he's like, oh, I want to be an F boy. I want to be an F boy. I don't trust her. And I get it. You don't have to trust her. But like, she told her girl that y'all, and that's the one thing about men, in difference between men and women. Like, if a girl is messing with somebody that she knows she shouldn't be messing with, she'll probably still tell her friend or a close friend. One, she may not tell three, four, but she might tell, she gon' always tell one person because one person needs to know the key. But if it's like a man and he messing with somebody that he really don't want nobody to know, nobody will know on his end. And, that's the difference. That's the difference. And unfortunately for Summer, she got caught being messy and it turned him off. And now he don't want to mess with you. And, it sucks. I mean, hopefully they have rectified their situation in this episode. Hopefully it lasts. I feel like once Noelle gets in it, it's going to get messy. But why would they bring, is it like 6 women and 4 guys? One is queer or gay. I don't know exactly what Preston identifies as. So if you want to correct me, please do. Um, one is Alex, he's single. One is Nick, he's taken. And one is Amir, he's taken. Now, why would you do that and then give us six, almost 6 women? 2 are taken, Jasmine and Bria. Then there's Jordan, Noelle, Summer, and Shanice, who are all single. That ratio don't make sense. You either got to bring in another taken woman or more single man. Like, this is silly. This is a recipe for disaster. And I can see it coming from a mile away. Okay? I can see it because you put people to live in a house for long enough, it's going to get bad. Okay? But I am so excited for this season. I'm so excited the show is renewed. I'm excited to see what happens. What are you guys excited to see? Who are you excited is back? Who do you wish would have came back that didn't? Um, just what do you guys think overall? I know the show hasn't really gained the traction that it needs to yet, but I'm excited and hoping for it. I really, really want to see this show blow up because I really, really enjoy it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, get it out there so more people can watch SummerHouse Martha's Vineyard. It is an amazing show. It is like Insecure, but reality because the ages of the people are, the same age range. So let's get everybody watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.